So like I said, I will try my best to anchor myself on something. And that something I choose. I choose it to be the smell of my room, which smells like muscle pain ointment. I, yes, I was supposed to say muscle pain relief ointment, but I guess muscle pain ointment also works. So I I am that's where the center of gravity is. Why am I like this? Well, at least I'm happy. at least at least I have access to this, even though the clouds are gray. I was in a conversation with my mother and my entire family. No, not my entire family, because my brother is currently traversing the waters of the Americas. So, what's left of my family, I guess. I was in a conversation with what's left of my family. And of course, they also showed me the fireworks last night. What? It's so fun. They're so cute. They they were on the streets. They were lighting up their firecrackers, and it feels as if I was also there, and I can hear the cars honking, like and everyone making noise, and because it's a part of the culture to make noise. I'm not sure if it's unique there or it's also being done here. I just haven't witnessed, but there it's a part of the culture, and from what I have heard, it is the purpose of it is to drive the bad spirits away. You noise, and you honk the cars, you slam the pots, you have your horns, especially for the kids, and then you make some other, and then you light up firecrackers, and it's to drive the bad spirits away, so that the new year is clean, based on what I remember. I hope I can remember properly. But yeah, that's part of why. Maybe there's an entire bag of why. That's just one thing inside the bag of why. So I was also there. I was also there with them. And during the dining part, because there's, I guess, two segments of welcoming the new year. One is the firecracker part, and then when all the firecrackers have been lit and the family enters the house, some people, they toss a bag of coins. It brings fortune, they say. Just, and it also creates noise when it falls on the ground. So multi-purpose, fortune and driving away the bad spirit. But I don't think they did that, because if they did, I would see. They didn't do the bag of coins thing. So they just went to the dining table and showed me the food. They showed me the food. And then yeah, we continued speaking. And one of the stories that came out of that is that one time, I forgot if it was Christmas or New Year, one time, we had a neighbor on, we had a neighbor, and I guess I should also say, or maybe I should also tell the story and the context. I can tell the story first, then I can tell the context. My brother, because my mom cooked a lot of spaghetti, so she gave some to the neighbors. And one of the neighbors, my brother saw him on the terrace. So to save time from going down and knocking, he just called him on the terrace. So, hey, person, here's here's a plate of spaghetti. My mom made some. And then the person said, no, we have some of our own spaghetti. And so here comes the context. Here comes the context. Or maybe, I'm not sure if it's a universal thing, but still, that's rude. In our country, at least, that's rude to refuse something. Food, to refuse food, a plate of food, when someone, for example, has a birthday, has wedding, any sort of celebration, it's usually the norm or part of the celebration even to give away food. And that's the first time in my years of existence that I have heard someone refuse a plate of food. And my brother my brother reenacted this so well. I guess he's better than reenacting things in a comedic way than I am. And I was just laughing and watching his face morph into this gremlin sort of face. Yeah, me and my brother, the youngest one, have a lot in common, including the gremlin face and this kind of tentacle energy. We are the two who are alike in the family. And so some days passed, or I'm not sure how long has passed. The same guy who refused the spaghetti came to my dad's store one time and offered food. So my dad having his own inner sense of justice refused the spaghetti. I am not sure if it's spaghetti even. I don't know what it is. But he refused the plate of food. And I'm not sure in how or what manner is the kind of hospitality shown to the neighbor who is offering the food. But this neighbor went to our house, went to my mom, and handed the same plate to my mother. And my mother, she accepted it. She accepted. And she was like, well, I didn't know that you already refused the spaghetti. I didn't know if it was spaghetti. I didn't know that you already refused. If I knew, then I wouldn't have taken the spaghetti just for the sake of respecting your prior decision. But we were laughing about it still, because it came to the personality trait of my mother, which is, well, what has been done is done. I'm not carrying a chip on my shoulder just because of what he did when he refused my spaghetti. So and if I am angry at him, then who's gonna suffer? Also me. And I think my dad, I'm not really, just between the two of us, I don't think I will ever know my dad as well as I would like to, because he's a very mysterious person. But if I were to try to think of how he's thinking of it when he rejected the spaghetti, or if it's not the spaghetti, let's just say that it's spaghetti, to get it out of the way. Trying to think of what my dad possibly have discussed with himself when he refused the spaghetti. It's probably that he's trying to teach the guy a lesson about how it feels, so that just in case his parents didn't teach him the etiquette, that or the general definition of decency, or showing respect in the culture where he is currently submerged, then my dad will do the part of it takes a village to raise a child. so he would feel, he will think, maybe he will think that, oh, maybe the next time I get offered spaghetti, I will accept, because I now know how it feels. I now know that it feels a bit disrespectful or impolite to refuse a spaghetti, giving, I feel like that's what my dad is trying to do. He's just trying to educate, maybe, or try to do his part in raising the kid, or so that next time he would know what to do, even if it will not be us who's offering the food. But then my mom is like insisting that, well, yeah, part one, if she knew before she accepted that my dad already refused it, then she would not have accepted. Part two is that, well, what's done is done, and it's his His actions are his, and my actions are mine, sort of. That's just how I try to word it. I'm probably not translating it properly, but yeah, that's the general idea. And I'm like, well, that's basically how every Libra that I have met behaves. That's basically how every Libra deals with these kinds of things. I said they're very forgiving, they're very forgiving people. And I said to my mom, well, that's where we are different. I am forgiving in my own way of forgiving, but if the person has done me so gravely something, like the kind of something that reaches beyond the flesh, the anger will last until I die. But then she said, well, you got that from your dad. You got that from your dad's side of the family, not from me. And I tried to explain to her, well, it's not as if I am actively plotting some kind of unspeakable revenge. No, I'm not. What I am doing is just I am extracting the energy from that anger, and I'm converting it somewhere in the mechanism of this brain. I'm converting it like firewood. And for me, I convert it as firewood. I make it as firewood, as for further use. It's not as if I am actively trying to ruin myself or carry a cross. I'm not carrying a cross. At this point of my life, I guess, not anymore. I've learned to deal with it in a way that serves my path. Because we change, people change as they see more of life or meet more people who are wiser. We learn things, we learn ourselves, we see what works, we see what doesn't, we see what feels honest, we see what feels like it's not really our own way. It just happens that this is the way of the society, and as a young person, it got rubbed on you and it sticked, and now when you're old, you kind of learn how to wash it off and learn your style in navigating life or something like this. So it's not as if I am ruining myself with this anger or with this. But yeah, my mom. My mom understands, even though we're different. And I'm very happy that she also understands. Because I guess she has also grown. I am also witnessing her change. Especially now that I am older. I'm seeing her more of a changing human. She's also changed all throughout the years. My mom, if you ever meet my mom, are you familiar with Teletubbies? she's she, she's the fifth. She's the fifth Teletubby. she yeah, when I am trying to think of her general presence and her general how how she looks at life, or how when I look at her and how she walks through life, I can see that she's the fifth Teletubby. She's the fifth Teletubby. That's her. And me, I don't know what I am. But yeah, I'm glad my mom understood.